Sarah had always been drawn to old, abandoned places. There was something about the history etched into the walls, the echoes of lives long past, that fascinated her. So, when she heard about the old Blackwood Manor on the outskirts of town, she couldn't resist. The locals whispered that the place was cursed, that something evil resided there, but Sarah didn't believe in such things. She was a skeptic by nature, and the idea of a haunted house was nothing more than a thrill. As she approached the manor, a sense of unease settled over her. The house loomed in the distance, dark and foreboding against the twilight sky. The once grand building was now a shadow of its former self, with crumbling walls and broken windows. Vines snaked their way up the walls, as if trying to pull the house back into the earth. The air around her seemed to grow colder with each step she took. She pushed open the heavy, creaking door and stepped inside. The interior was just as decayed as the exterior. Dust covered every surface, and cobwebs hung like curtains from the ceiling. The smell of dampness and rot filled her nose. As she wandered through the house, she noticed something strange, a faint whispering sound, just on the edge of hearing. It seemed to be coming from the walls themselves, as if the house was trying to communicate with her. At first, she dismissed it as the wind or her imagination. But the whispers grew louder, more insistent. They seemed to be forming words, though she couldn't quite make them out. Her heart began to race as the whispers seemed to swirl around her, coming from all directions. She felt a cold breath on the back of her neck and spun around, but there was nothing there. Panic started to set in. She tried to leave, but the door she had entered through was now sealed shut, as if it had never been opened. The whispers grew louder, now clearly saying her name over and over again. "Sarah, Sarah, come to us." Suddenly, she felt something grab her ankle. She looked down and saw a shadowy hand emerging from the floorboards, pulling her down. She screamed and struggled, but the hand was too strong. With one last desperate effort, she managed to break free and run down the hallway, the whispers now a cacophony of voices screaming her name. She burst into a room at the end of the hallway and slammed the door behind her. The room was pitch black, except for a single candle flickering in the center. She could hear her own breath, ragged and terrified, as the whispers faded into silence. For a moment, she thought she was safe. But then, the door creaked open on its own, and a shadowy figure stepped inside, whispering, "It's too late, Sarah. You're already ours. Already."